Today we are out in Ourimbah State Forest. We're taking the LandCruiser for its first run since I've put all the new suspension bits in it. So we're going to go for a bit of an explore. We'll see how the suspension goes, see if we can find some limits, and just have fun. Also, make sure you hang around to the end of the video. I've got some really exciting news about this car. I'm building my dream LandCruiser out of this essentially. So hang around and I'll let you know exactly what I'm doing. My brand new project. So Ourimbah State Forest is only about 15 minutes from our place. Unfortunately, I got pretty sick the week before we were meant to be going to the Wadigans, and as you can see here, the weather wasn't ideal, so we figured we'd come here, just have a play around. So I'm going to put a bunch of videos together, just showing what we did for the day. So as we're only doing simple tracks, I edit down to 25 psi for comfort as much as anything, but just to protect the tyres from sharp objects. So I was quite surprised. I really thought the suspension work I'd done would improve the on-road manners more than anything, but getting it back out on the tracks, the extra stability feels really nice on little rock steps and tree roots and things. The car feels way more stable. It's still handling little bumps and rocks really nicely. It's gone from probably a 6 out of 10 for driving feel off-road to about an 8 at the moment. Now it's worth keeping in mind that we're here just to give the car a bit of a test run, so we got to this point and we left it there. You can see that we got a nice flex up spot. There was a pretty tall rock wall there to climb, and without lockers and especially without a winch, it's just not worth putting ourselves in silly positions until we've got that gear. So even though this area wasn't that steep, some of the limitations of the automatic I realised here pretty quickly. I'm in low range, I've got it pulled down to first gear or low gear, whatever you want to call it, and there's still not enough engine braking there to control the car down the hill. I can imagine it's going to be amplified on steeper hills, so I'm definitely keen to look at ways to solve that whilst keeping it auto down the track. So one of the main things I got out of this run was getting to figure out wheel placement. I haven't spent a lot of time in this car off-road, so it's been really nice to sort of figure out where it is in relation to rocks and ruts. And this day it was just so nice to spend the day out in nature. It's really reminded me how much fun this stuff is. Okay guys, so we've made our way out here to Ourimbah. The whole purpose of today really at the start was to test my rear sway bar. Our first hill, I don't know what I've done wrong, but it's just pulled straight out of the link. I'll give you a look. So it literally pulled out too much tension. Maybe I over tightened the bolt, but we're having a bit of fun. We've got a nice view here. We'll keep moving. I think everyone gets so caught up today in 35s and lockers and having all the gear that some of the simple things like line selection get overlooked and how important they are. I thought this would be a good clip to show. So that front left wheel there, how it just slipped off the rock. This is a very easy rock step. We're not looking at anything particularly difficult here. But that wheel just going slightly off to the side has made it impossible for the car to climb here. So the next shot is going to show you correct wheel placement. So all we've done different here is put the front wheel a bit more to the right so it stays up on top of the rocks rather than slipping off to the side. And you can see that went from getting completely stuck to just rolling over it like it wasn't even there. So I think line selection is a really important skill to learn. It's something I'm still learning, but when you get it right, it's just such a satisfying feeling. Another thing I really wanted to point out here is my front recovery point is a terrible design. It's circled in red here, and when the video starts again, you'll notice that it smashes the rock face there. It's going to cause me nothing but trouble. This bar has an amazing approach angle, so I need a better solution. If you guys have any recommendations, drop them in the comments or shoot me a message, please. And situations like this are where the new suspension stability is really nice. Any sort of off-camber drop-off, it used to feel sketchy because the car would rock around so much with the soft suspension, and because there was no sway bars in it, it would just keep sort of rolling side to side. So the extra stability here was just 100 times better. Also, if anyone has any experience with winches, I'd be very keen on a recommendation for that as well. I found plates that I can mount to the chassis rails to mount a winch, but I'm just not 100% sure on what model I'm going to buy. I'm keeping this car for a long time, so I want it to be something good. So any recommendations, drop them in the comments. If I end up buying something, I might even send you something for your trouble. So that wraps up our day in Ourimbah State Forest. We had a really fun time. I'm really happy with how the car's driving, and I'm learning a lot about how it drives. So we're going to take up that Watergans trip in the very near future. I'm actually going to do an episode before that. I've got some really big news for this car. I've bought something from Japan that's really going to transform it. I've decided to just go all in on it. I really love this car now, so I'm going to build my dream car. So make sure you subscribe. That video will be out soon. I'm going to give you guys a detailed rundown of what I've bought and what I'm planning to do. Also, I just want to say a massive thank you to you legends. I've cracked 1,400 subscribers. It's growing like I would have never imagined. This channel's only going to get bigger and better this year, so make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you guys on the next one.